Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pretty with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believes.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'ma stay in my lane, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fucking with me. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. I'm not educated in school, I'm educated in life. I know how to survive.
There you go.
Nobody has taken none of my properties away from me.
Right.
So I still got all my houses, I still got everything. My mother, and my whole family, they bills still paid.
Right.
I still pay all my employees. And just look around, my team, they still paying their bills. My mother's house is paid for. All my properties are paid for. My grandson don't want for nothing. I'm happy with that. As long as I'm able to eat every day, pay my bills, and travel and do the things that I want to do, and I don't have to get up and punch no clock and work for nobody, then that's my comfort. A lot of times they say, oh, it's this lawsuit, it's that lawsuit. One thing about me, whoever I get involved with, as far as with business, I get myself out of the situation. Nobody see me in no soup line, and I ain't been out on the streets begging like my hands is cups.
Right.
So at the end,
The tables have turned in dramatic fashion, flipping faster than a shocking upset in Las Vegas. Manny Pacquiao is putting Floyd Mayweather on full blast in his latest video, openly mocking reports surrounding Floyd's alleged $150 million financial collapse. The very fighter Floyd once dismissed as finished is now celebrating what many see as his rival's downfall, taking verbal shots at the self-proclaimed undefeated legend who reportedly lost nearly everything except his pride. This isn't simply a comeback story. It's revenge delivered with perfect timing. Stick around for a few moments, because you won't want to miss how this story unfolds.
Two princes. There can only be one king. June 27th, only on the zone. I give it all that I got.
Steven Cordano, Carolina Sports for Fight Hub TV.
In the world of boxing, very few rivalries have matched the magnitude of Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Their historic 2015 showdown became the highest-grossing fight the sport had ever witnessed. More than 10 years later, that rivalry is still making headlines, driven not only by what happened inside the ring, but also by financial figures, major decisions, and consequences that extend well beyond the ropes.
Mayweather may be having the worst month of his life, and it just got worse. Just the other day, June 18th, a new lawsuit filed against Floyd Mayweather and his business partners Frist Apex Ventures, filed by CSI Entertainment and their other entities in the state of New York. I released 2 videos recently covering this story. This is now the 3rd in the trilogy about Floyd going broke, having issues with felony charges, and now a new
Manny Pacquiao has released a new video in which he speaks directly to Floyd Mayweather following reports of significant financial troubles surrounding the unbeaten former champion. His delivery is calm and composed, almost matter-of-fact, yet every word carries real impact. Pacquiao acknowledges the postponed rematch and says he hopes Mayweather is able to overcome his current challenges. The message holds deeper meaning because it comes from the man who once shared the ring with Mayweather in the biggest boxing event the sport has ever witnessed.
Before he wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. This is what I'm waiting for.
Mayweather Jr. sure used to talk a lot of smack about Muhammad Ali. To turn around and be in a situation that is apparently worse than Muhammad Ali was in, as Floyd Mayweather Jr. is suing all of his business friends, former business friends.
Pacquiao built his legacy through relentless discipline and constant movement inside the ring. Even at this stage of his career, he continues to follow a training routine that many younger fighters look up to and try to emulate. His latest public remarks come at a time when Floyd Mayweather is facing growing scrutiny over his business dealings. Reports have suggested that the undefeated former champion may have suffered financial losses estimated at around $150 million or even more. Those claims remain tied to ongoing legal disputes, including lawsuits involving former business associates and partners.
But now his latest situation is him being sued for how he did not uphold his end of the bargain with what we had seen promoted with the Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao fights that were supposed to be happening. Floyd Mayweather is being sued by a boxing promoter who claims they paid the legendary pugilist $4.65 million in advance money for mega fights against Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao, only for Floyd to walk away from the...
Mayweather has publicly denied the claims, insisting that his key assets remain secure and that he continues to meet his responsibilities to his family. Even so, the debate surrounding his financial situation has continued throughout the boxing world. For years, Floyd Mayweather carefully built an image centered on wealth and success. His money persona became one of the most recognizable brands in sports, defined by private jets, exotic cars, and lucrative exhibition bouts. That larger-than-life reputation brought him incredible financial rewards, but it also attracted intense scrutiny whenever controversy emerged. Canceled events, payment disputes, and ongoing questions about his business management have all become part of the current narrative. Meanwhile, Dana White offered a different point of view. The UFC president expressed sympathy for everything Mayweather did to build his fortune and suggested he would be willing to help if necessary. White also pointed out that many professional athletes experience dramatic financial swings, speaking from the perspective of someone who has witnessed countless careers unfold from ringside.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully this situation gets rectified, especially when it comes to having people around you, having other people in control of your finances. That's a no-no, Uncle. Joe, that's a no-no.
Man.
That is a big no-no, especially with the kind of cash flow Floyd having.
Ocho, you know you can't sign anything blank. Ocho, when they come to us and they try to get us to sign these blanks, when it comes to our autograph. No, bro. Do you know how many...
Bob Arum looked at the situation from a broader perspective. The veteran promoter pointed to the risks that come with maintaining an expensive lifestyle over a long period. He explained that constantly living in luxury can eventually create lasting financial problems, regardless of how much money someone once earned. Having watched generations of fighters reach the top and later decline, Arum spoke from decades of experience rather than criticism. Adrian Broner, meanwhile, remained loyal to Mayweather. The former champion and longtime friend publicly backed him, saying he would be willing to help and even share his resources if the situation ever required it. Broner's comments reflected the strong personal relationships that often exist within boxing, even when public opinion turns negative. At the same time, Jason Whitlock and Rick Glazer offered another perspective by focusing on the money brand Mayweather carefully created over the years. They argued that the image itself may have added to the current pressure, pointing to management decisions, legal expenses, and changing relationships within his inner circle as key factors in their analysis. Their view differs sharply from those who believe outside issues, including unsuccessful investments and disputes with business partners, are the primary reasons behind the reported financial troubles.
One of your former fighters seems to be having money issues. You know, Floyd, his fight just got canceled in Greece. His fight with Mike Tyson might get suspended. Obviously, Pacquiao just got pushed back as well. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, it's very, very sad. But, you know, Floyd had a great career. He made a lot of money. But in his mind, that made him a great genius, great business genius,
Reports also emerged of private conversations involving individuals who were once close to Mayweather's inner circle. In one widely discussed recording, Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe reportedly spoke about the situation in a way that suggested concern or growing distance. Whether those conversations reflect an actual change in loyalty or were simply honest private remarks remains uncertain. Boxing has always been built on complicated relationships and shifting alliances. Those plans have now been placed on hold. Contract complications and Mayweather's legal situation became key factors behind the postponement. Pacquiao has said both sides are working toward a new date, potentially sometime next year. He continues to describe the situation as something that can be resolved rather than turned into conflict. This development also raises broader questions about legacy in boxing. Mayweather retired with an unbeaten record. He earned hundreds of millions through calculated matchmaking and promotional control. That achievement established a new standard. It also created expectations that very few fighters can sustain once their careers are over. Many boxers eventually learn that the discipline needed inside the ring does not always carry over into business outside of it. Investments can collapse. Advisors can make costly errors. Lifestyle expenses often rise much faster than expected.
Mayweather, something like $4.65 million for the exclusive rights to air both of those fights, the Mike Tyson fight and the Manny Pacquiao fight. They say that Floyd took the money and then basically just disappeared on them. Said, okay, I'm gonna take the money, I'm gonna cash the check, but I'm not actually going to allow you to, again, broadcast the fights. And this company, it's called CSI Entertainment, they have now filed the lawsuit and they have essentially said, Floyd needs to give us that money, and not just that these...
Pacquiao chose a very different road. After reaching the peak of his career, he shifted his focus toward politics and public service in the Philippines. While continuing to fight on a selective basis, his financial situation has occasionally drawn public attention. Even so, he continues to present an image of stability and long-term purpose. The contrast between these two icons is striking. One built his legacy through defensive brilliance and calculated precision. The other earned his reputation with relentless aggression and deep connections to his community. Both reached the highest level of the sport. Both are now facing the realities that come after retirement. Uncertainty remains the biggest factor. Legal proceedings often take time. Final outcomes depend on court decisions, negotiations, and private agreements. Mayweather has overcome major obstacles before and later found new opportunities. Whether history repeats itself will depend on several factors. The postponement shows how quickly outside circumstances can disrupt even the biggest plans. Pacquiao continues to train while expressing his readiness, and Mayweather remains focused on handling his current affairs while insisting that his overall foundation is still secure.
More legal trouble for the undefeated boxer who we have talked about a lot over the last year, was set to come back and get back in the boxing ring with two massive events. One against Mike Tyson, and the second, a professional fight against Manny Pacquiao. A rematch, of course, of the fight we saw a decade ago. Well, there is a promotion company that is suing Floyd Mayweather. They say it all has to...
Boxing has always balanced greatness with uncertainty. Success can come quickly, but circumstances can change just as fast. Mayweather's current situation serves as a reminder rather than a final chapter. Careers built under the spotlight are always judged in the public eye. Every choice carries consequences. Loyalties are tested. Reputations come under pressure. Legacies continue to evolve as time passes. Pacquiao's message does not focus on celebrating or criticizing. Instead, it delivers a respectful statement from one fighter to another during a difficult period. That sense of restraint is what gives it real impact. Legal proceedings continue to unfold. Conversations inside gyms, boardrooms, and training camps have become increasingly serious. Boxing rarely provides easy answers. Instead, it reveals moments of truth that emerge only through pressure, patience, and the consequences that follow.
Pretty serious implications, not only for Floyd's legacy, but also for how networks and advisors handle fighter compensations. Mayweather wants hundreds of millions back plus punitive damages, pushing this beyond a simple accounting dispute. If the court rules in his favor, it could open the door to more scrutiny of boxing's behind-the-scenes financial relationships. So this is kind of nuts, man. Wow, taken aback, surprised by this. I'm thinking, how did Floyd come to this?
What happens next remains uncertain. A resolution inside the ring, in the courtroom, or in private life would carry a different meaning for each man. The sport continues to be shaped by the powerful influence of money long after the arena lights fade. The postponed rematch now carries consequences that extend far beyond the fighters, affecting promoters, broadcasters, and major platforms. Pacquiao continues to follow his routine with quiet discipline, beginning each day with early morning runs through the familiar streets of General Santos City. His training blends technical preparation with regular involvement in the local community. He rarely discusses his personal finances in public, preferring to keep the focus on his preparation and his faith. Those closest to him describe someone who has learned valuable lessons from both successful and challenging business experiences. His journey reflects the belief that lasting success depends on finding the right balance between a boxing career and the life that follows outside the ring.
Absolute blatant karma up in Floyd Mayweather's face for all the smack he talked about Muhammad Ali and how Muhammad Ali's name was only worth $50 million and he sold half of his name for $50 million and how he's made so much more money and that makes him all of that. Talked about how Muhammad Ali, I'm sure, or I don't know if he did, but I'd heard, talked about Floyd. Yeah, he did, because he talked about his money and how he had to sell his name because he didn't have his money right. Yep, I'm sorry.
Mayweather, by contrast, continues making carefully selected public appearances. Exhibition bouts provide both income and continued visibility, but they also fuel debate over where the line exists between true competition and entertainment. Some analysts believe these events help him stay active and maintain his sharpness. Others argue they are a practical response to changing financial circumstances. Either way, they keep him in the spotlight while the future of major professional fights remains uncertain. Younger fighters are watching these developments very closely. Rising prospects in gyms across Las Vegas and Los Angeles now discuss management contracts with far greater caution. They still point to Mayweather's early decision to promote himself as a source of inspiration, but they also recognize the visible challenges that can arise when complete control begins to slip. Trainers report more conversations centered on financial education, while advisors increasingly stress the importance of diversified investments and thorough legal oversight. Whether viewed as a success story or a cautionary tale, his example continues to shape how the next generation prepares for life inside and outside the ring. Industry executives are also considering the wider message. Promoters who once relied on Mayweather's unmatched drawing power are now approaching risk with a different mindset. One leading stakeholder described the current period as a real test of the financial structures created during boxing's highest earning years. If enormous fortunes can be affected despite historic success, then every contract deserves closer examination. That perspective continues to spread throughout the industry, not with panic, but with a clear understanding that the business of boxing remains as unforgiving as ever.
And because he overrated life, he ran out of money. You can't, no matter how much money you have, you can't have 2 big planes, 10 security guards. It's going to cost you money. I mean, so again, I'm really sad to see that happen, but...
International perspectives add another layer to the story. In the Philippines, Pacquiao's influence reaches far beyond boxing. People follow his activities with a strong sense of national pride and interest. His ability to balance public service with a competitive boxing career has become an example for many athletes in developing countries. Supporters admire his resilience and view his measured comments about the rematch as a sign of maturity gained through years of high-pressure negotiations. In the United States, reactions remain divided along familiar lines. Longtime Mayweather supporters continue to defend his business instincts and point to the many times he has overcome adversity. They believe he will carefully resolve the current issues and eventually regain his focus. Meanwhile, the physical demands of professional boxing allow only a limited window for recovery and reinvention. Fighters who continue competing into their 40s face increasing challenges. Lingering injuries, slower recovery, and mental fatigue all become part of the equation alongside major business decisions. Training shifts from simply improving performance to preserving longevity. Both Pacquiao and Mayweather appear to understand those realities, yet each continues to approach the sport on his own terms. The uncertainty surrounding the rematch only adds to the growing tension. Potential dates remain flexible, while contracts still require agreement on weight, officiating, and the division of revenue.
So he only got 13 million out of that 100?
Yeah.
Somebody else took
According
the
to
jury.
TMZ, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling was handed over to a Miami jewelers, more than one, for only $13 million in return. It says a huge chunk of the collection is still sitting with the jewelers, with the dealers.
You got to understand too, Joe. Diamonds. When you purchase diamonds, it's like cars. Once you walk out that jewelry store,
with each passing month, patience continues to be tested on both sides. Fans remain divided in what they hope to see. Some want the story to be settled inside the ring, while others worry that ongoing outside issues could reduce the significance of the event. Either way, the possibility of the rematch remains a constant topic throughout the boxing world. Observers are also paying closer attention to the human side of the story. Public displays of wealth often create a sense of distance, but when signs of struggle emerge, they remind people that even elite athletes operate within complicated systems that few outsiders fully understand. Family responsibilities, team salaries, and charitable commitments all add pressures that are rarely visible to the public. Decisions made under intense circumstances can look very different once time passes and more facts become known. As training camps slowly take shape and legal matters continue to move forward, the sport watches with cautious anticipation. The discussion is no longer focused only on undefeated records or unforgettable highlights. It now includes responsibility, long-term consequences, and the steady effort required to protect everything that has been built. Boxing has produced countless champions, but far fewer have successfully managed the transition that follows with lasting stability. In the end, the journey of these two men reflects an important truth about success inside the squared circle. Winning may create opportunity, but only disciplined decisions can preserve it. A fighter's legacy is not defined by one unforgettable night, but by the choices that shape every year afterward. Whatever outcome eventually arrives will carry the weight of past decisions and future consequences, leaving the sport with another chapter that extends far beyond the final bell.